Does your furry friend take over your bed every night? It's time to reclaim your space while giving them the comfort they deserve with the coldest, cozy dog bed. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description to buy now on Amazon.
The world is a less safe place for my daughter than it was for me growing up. This is not hyperbole, it is cold, hard fact, reflected in news this week that should disturb us all. On Tuesday, the National Police Chiefs Council published a harrowing report that said violence against women and girls was now at such staggering levels it can be described only as a national emergency, posing as much of a threat to society as terrorism. Take a moment and read that again. Violence against women and girls is now a national emergency that poses as much of a threat to society as terrorism. I don't know about you, but I saw these words, and I wondered why anyone would be talking about anything else. According to the report, a fifth of all police-recorded crimes involve violence towards women and girls. Stalking, harassment, sexual assault and domestic violence affect 1 in 12 women in England and Wales, with the number of recorded offences growing by 37% in the past 5 years. These are cautious estimates, adds the report. We know much crime goes unreported, and in policing we often only see the tip of the iceberg. It's difficult to identify the most troubling element of this report, so packed as it is with statistics that make me want to weep. 3,000 crimes reported a day, 2 million victims each year, 1 in 20 adults in England and Wales perpetrating violence against women and girls. But if I was going to pull one statistic out that truly upsets me, then it is the fact that the average age of a suspect of child sexual abuse and exploitation is just 15, with the average age of victims being 13. There is an epidemic of this behavior in our schools, and police chiefs believe it is the fault of unchecked online misogyny, peddled by the likes of Andrew Tate, banned from Twitter in 2017 for saying women should bear some responsibility for being raped, but reinstated in Elon Musk's takeover and now boasting almost 10 million followers, despite currently awaiting trial in Romania, having been charged with rape, sexual exploitation, and human trafficking. Tate is often held up as the king of toxic masculinity, but the so-called manosphere is full of blokes in fast cars describing women over 23 as leftovers and calling for a return to a time when men played the dominant role in relationships. Meanwhile, porn is more extreme and more easily accessed than ever. Speaking about the report, Deputy Chief Constable Maggie Blythe said that everything was being compounded by a criminal justice system which at present is overwhelmed and underperforming for victims. The police themselves are hardly shining beacons here. On the same day the report was published, a panel found that Sergeant James N. Dean, an officer who acted as an ambassador for women and girls at Thames Valley Police, wolf-whistled at female members of the public and bragged about his sexual prowess to colleagues. And how can we forget Sarah Everard, murdered by a serving officer who used his police badge to kidnap her? Earlier this year, the official report found the police failings in this case were so severe that unless the processes for vetting and re-vetting are significantly improved, then there is a danger there may be another Wayne Couzens operating in plain sight. The start of the Olympics brings with it the usual stories about the number of condoms shipped into the athletes' village, 200,000 for the 14,250 competitors living together for 2 weeks. Organizers of the Paris Games have also created anti-sex beds, made of cardboard. I'd always wondered what the fuss was about, until I covered the London 2012 Olympics, and carried the torch, and realized how exciting it was to watch all the thrusting young athletes in action. Some 9 months later, I got my own Olympic reward, a healthy, bouncing baby, conceived, I think, after watching swimmer Michael Phelps win gold in the individual medley. That concerns me, but not as much as the idea of school kids so inured to online sex and violence that they are incapable of seeing the problem with it. When I was a young girl, my parents worried about stranger danger, and gave me vague instructions to hurry home safely from school and scream if I encountered mysterious figures in dark alleyways. Today the problem is at school, and in the home, thanks to smartphones that allow children access to content my generation didn't see until we were at